subject of our thematic display is Miklos Radnoti. Now let's see as Rajvi talks about Miklos Radnoti's work. Now Rajvi is going to tell you the world in which Miklos Radnoti was born and through a poem written by the children and the teachers.
An old order made way for the new, resentment all around, much too. Rising from the ashes, many a dictator, of rack and roll, they were the precipitators. This map depicts the political and economic situations of Europe post-World War I. It shows the rise of Nazism, fascism, imperialism and communism. The American dollar and the Japanese yen played a great role in leading to the events that caused World War II. Thank you.
Now you can imagine the destruction that was going on during the time in which Miklos Radnoti was born. Now Ishani will tell you about the poet's life in detail through a poem.
Trauma surrounds the moment of a Jewish birth. Of misery in his life, there was no dearth. Mother and twin brother, two lost in time. Ravaged in mind, not yet reached his prime. From the abyss of despair, he rose to write. As school teacher, then he saw the light. Found love with his newly married wife, all set to find happiness in his future life. This part of the room represents the poet's life. At the back, as you can see, there is a timeline which represents the poet's life, and the pictures on it represent a few important events while the notes talk about these events. You might be wondering why this road has been made here. This road represents the poet's life, and the footprints on it are symbolic of his life starting from when he was a baby to as he gradually grows older. Come, let's take a walk down the road and I'll explain a few things. Miklos Radnoti was born on 5th May 1909. He studied French and Hungarian literature. He got married to Fanny Marti and he earned his living as a freelance writer, a translator and a school teacher. These boots have been kept here to specify that he was in the army, and this veil has been displayed here to show that he got married. You might have noticed that there is no mention of death here. So to learn about that, you have to move to the next part of the room. Thank you.
Now as you can see, there are war tanks kept over here. These symbolize that Miklos Radnoti was forced into the Hungarian army in which he was killed. And these postcards actually tell us that he had written poems which were called postcards. And the things that were written in his poem actually portray the horrific destruction that was caused by the war. Now Labib will tell you how Miklos Radnoti was killed in the Holocaust.
Forcibly conscripted and sent to war, overwhelmed with the horror that he saw, trainloads of children, women and men, all subjects of his brave mind and mighty pen, he scribbled away on postcards countless, as screams were silenced by the monster's wickedness. Bodies piled up high in mass graves, the stench so powerful it hid one in waves. And these are the faces of those million Jews and the nameless people who died in the various concentration camps. And these are some of the words that were written in blood on the walls of the camps by them. Miklos Radnoti was forced to join the Hungarian army, and being a Jew was put in the unarmed labor battalion and was sent to work in copper mines. In 1944, his group of battalion was forced march back to Hungary. In that march, many of the members of the battalion, including Radnoti, was shot for being unable to march on. Miklos Radnoti had died at an age of only 35 years. In the last few weeks of his life, he continued to write poems in a small notebook and scraps of paper. Thank you.
You can imagine the unspeakable death of Miklos Radnoti. His body was exhumed from the mass graves, and in his field jacket, a Serbian notebook was found in which he wrote his last poems in pencil. Now this is the coffin of Miklos Radnoti. You must be wondering, even though why Miklos Radnoti was a Jew, there's a cross sign made on the coffin, which tells us that during the time of Miklos Radnoti, Hitler was treating the Jews very badly, as a result of which he converted his religion to become a Catholic Christian. That is why there is a cross symbol there. Now, Anushka represents Miklos Radnoti's wife, and she will be elocuting one of the last poems that he had written.
You're crazy. You fall down, stand up, and walk again. Your ankles and your knees. But you start again as if you had wings. The ditch calls you, but it's no use. You start again as if you had wings. And if someone asks why, maybe you turn around and say that a woman, a sane death, a better death waited for you. But you're crazy.
Now let's see as Neha tells us about the poet's life and his mind process.
Dust you are and to dust you return, no matter your status in earth you will endure. From that soil will arise new hope. The letter will teach us the ways to go. In the beginning there was the word divine. Through the ages it has lost its shine. Now more than ever is the time to heal. We have no choice but to empathize and feel. The greed, the jealousy, racism, all this led to the war. A lesson well learned, that one can leave behind one's differences and become united in our quest for peace and harmony. These beautiful flags reflect all the beautiful things in our life. From the debris of war, rose of hope for mankind. Miklos Radnoti's poem shows us his pain and anguish he went through. The atrocities of war, his pain and sufferings, make us all wonder and question ourselves. Why do we have wars? Why can't we give up our differences and become united? Why?
We leave you to that question. Thank you. Now, Professor John Ridlin was the person who translated Miklos Radnoti's poem from Hungarian to English. And we were fortunate enough to get his email ID, and the children of our school had mailed him several questions that we wanted to ask. And he was patient enough to give the reply to all the questions that we had asked.